Hi, I'm Dee from Dee's Jewelry at dd.net, and today I want to talk about how to remove the pinions, which are the smallest gear from regular clock gears that are used in steampunk jewelry. When you first buy the gears, or when you take a clock apart, the pinion is stuck in there really good, and it's kind of hard to get out. If you try to use pliers to pull it apart, you might break the gear. And so I was looking for a way to get them out and without damaging the gears. At first I looked for videos or information on the internet, and I found someone who suggested using a cylinder to support the gear while you hammer the pinion out. And because you may not have, specific cylinders lying around in the right size, they suggested using a socket set and finding the right size socket, and then you put the pinion in there and you hammer it out. As long as there's enough depth for it to be for it to fall, it should be fine and it doesn't damage the gear. This is what I did, and it worked fine for the largest gears. I have a bunch of them here, and now they're all easier to use in jewelry. The smallest gears, however, are a bit of a problem because they're very fragile, and I couldn't find a socket that was small enough for this type of gear. At first it didn't bother me very much because I was using these smallest gears in resin pendants. So I used the back of the watches as a base, and then I put all my pieces in and poured resin over it, so I didn't need the central hole in the gears, since they were just, held in place by the resin. But I wanted to do different types of jewelry, earrings and so on, so it would be nice to be able to put them on a jump ring or a head pin. So this is what I came up with. The best solution I could find for such small gears was to get a tube bead, a metal tube bead. So this is it. It's a small tube bead. And you can use the exact same technique. You figure out which side you have to hammer, so it's the smallest side, and you put it on the bead. Let me get this out of the way. And then I use this, well, I already have a bead at the end, so I use this to stabilize it, because your fingers are too big and you could end up hammering your finger rather than the gear. So I hold it like this, and then I put the gear on top, and I use a small hammer, the tiniest hammer I could find, to hammer it in. And it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much force. It doesn't take much time. It just pops right out. And the tiny pinion is, I don't know if you can see that, just stays inside the metal bead. So sometimes, because I was already struggling with this problem and I couldn't get the pinions out, some of them I cut them off, and I'm trying to find one, which means that I would have nothing to hammer on the other side. So in those cases, can't seem to find any. What I do, if it just, I can't have enough height on this side to hammer, what I do is I use a punch. It's just, you know, it's got a small tip, and I put it right in the center. You know, you have to be very sure you're hitting the right place. And then with a slightly larger hammer, because it's a bigger distance, I just tap it a few times and making sure it doesn't get out from where it's supposed to be. This one still has a bit of a... And there it goes. You basically just push it in, and you're left with your tiny gear with the hole in the middle. If by any chance you hammer the gear itself and it gets a little crooked, you can just tap it once or twice and it goes flat again. So that's it. That's basically it. I hope this was helpful, and good luck on your projects. See you next time. Bye.